Okay, at this point, what you should have is the same size of the cross everywhere. So what you're doing with the front is you're taking whatever the pattern is and remembering what is in front of what. Okay, so you have this portion in front of the cross, this portion in front, and as it drapes across, drapes over it, you'll see it comes out through the back, towards the front, up over the side. So technically, if you want to take it from one end to the other, you could take it up to the front, to the back, up to the front, and back to the back. Now what we need to do here is we need to remove, you see how I have the bottom done? I'm going to leave it the way it is right now with that width. We'll determine that a little bit later how thick that should be, because that's the part of the garment hanging. This is the very end portion of the garment, and this is the garment in the front. So what we need to do with the top is to get it to go, we need to cut out a few things here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray it just to make it a little bit easier, because we're going to cut across the grain a little bit. What I'm using is a 50% rubbing alcohol, 70% rubbing alcohol and water, mixing it half and half. 50% water, 50% of the rubbing alcohol. That's the 70% strength. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I already kind of did this here at the corner. Okay, see how it's draped across? We're going to do the same thing over here. We're going to take our knife and we're just going to start chopping little pieces out towards the back. Your knife really has to be sharp for this, folks. So really what you're trying to do on the onset is getting it across the same size all the way around. Okay? All the way around. So the cross is kind of sitting behind. You know, it's carved out a little bit. Okay, so we're over here, we're going to chop this out. And we're just going to take that portion out. Alright, we're going to be careful, we don't want to go too far into the cross there. Alright, just like so. Same thing here. This corner has to come out next. Okay, see how we're draping this over, cutting it across this way to where it turns right there. That's the portion we need to take out. I'm going to just spray that a little bit more. This wood's a little tougher than I am used to. I use my bigger knife to get in there a little bit better. Yeah, you take your time cutting this out. There's no hurry with it. You want to try to keep that cross completely flat and straight as you're doing it, okay? Here, because we're going against the grain a little bit. Do a little bit at a time. Back here on the front, or in the back side here. And we're doing the same thing. Okay, we're just going to cut that out a little bit more. Okay, see how we're having that draped across and over? And we'll determine that in a second. Okay, and we're going to do the same thing over here at this side, this corner. Let's spray it because it's really at the end piece there. One thing about spraying it, just spray what you need to do. Try to be very careful when you do it. So technically, when you're doing this cross, you're doing the front as a relief and the back as a relief. And then you're coming back and you're looking at the top of it to see where this actually angles across the cross itself. Okay. We're going to go a little further. There we go. Like so. Alright. And we're same thing here. We're just going to take our knife and start putting a stop cuts are very important with this project. Keeping your stop cuts just very, very straight if you can. And then just chopping it out. Okay, that's how we have that. Alright, I went a little lower there than I should have. We'll just chop this out to try to make it match a little bit. Yeah, you have to be kind of careful with it, folks. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to chop right along the cross here in the front. And we're just going to chop this inward, like so. Like it's going to the back of that. Okay, see how we have that slanted up? We're going to do the same thing to this side. Alright, and again we're going to take this little corner out here. I'm just going to scoop that out a little bit. And again we're going to take this out a little bit right at the end here. Now you really don't need to do too much there, except scoop it out. Alright, so we're just going to scoop this out, round it up. Alright, I'm just going to take that edge off of there a little bit. Going to round this down. Alright, work our way around it now and take the hard edges off everywhere. Okay. Alright. And we're just going to scoop this out, take that hard edge off, and take this off down here. See how it's starting to drape around? Take this corner off up at the top. Sorry. Try to keep it in view. Okay. Alright, so see how we're draping it across? So when I go offline, I'm gonna try to round this up a little bit better, where I can see it a little bit better. And then we're going to put the little folds in there. Alright, so when I come back, all this will be rounded up and taken care of. And the tip here too, we're going to round this off just a little bit. Alright. See how it's coming? Okay, see the drape? And we're going to make that more distinct. Here, I think that cross needs to be just a little bit further in over here. But you're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to pull this, round this up, and start rounding things off. Round off those corners